2020, Skoda Auto, based in Mlada Boleslav, fully entered the electric era with the Enyaq IV. Therefore, we also focus on this topic at the Skoda Museum with a short-term exhibition on the wave of electromobility. This part of the exhibition is focused on using electric drives in cars of Lorin, Clement, and Skoda. The inventor, Kushaq, was the first to incorporate an electric engine into a Lorin Clement car. It was in 1908. He created the first hybrid car of the Mlada Boleslav brand. In the 1930s and 40s, electric trucks were produced in Pilsen and were used for their low cost and good use. For example, in the Pilsner Urquell brewery. In 1941, a few elegant roadsters with electric drives were produced in Mlada Boleslav. However, it was not a road car, but a toy car branded Skoda Puck, which means goblin, and could reach a speed of up to 12 kilometers per hour. The Ultra model continued the tradition of historic electric cars in the modern era of Skoda Auto. It was built based on the Skoda Favorit model, and almost 190 of these vehicles were produced. The drive was provided by an electric engine, and lead car batteries in the front and rear of the car allowed a range of 80 kilometers. The Ultra was originally created for the Swiss market, but it also found customers in other European countries. Skoda Auto in Mlada Boleslav and Skoda Pilsen, with its branch in Apovice, joined forces to create it. In 2010, a series of 17 electric test cars were built from the second generation of Octavia Combi. The Octavia Green E-Line had a range of 150 kilometers, and the company examined the possibility of using an electric drive. The current electric era in the Skoda Auto company was launched in the wake of the IV brand, which was first introduced in the Vision IV study in Geneva in March 2019. IV covers both electric cars and plug-in hybrids. In 2019, the Skoda Citigo, a small city car, switched completely to electric drive. Its fully charged battery allowed a range of up to 256 kilometers. At the same time, the Superb IV, the flagship, and the first plug-in hybrid model of the Skoda brand was introduced. This was followed by the fourth generation of the Skoda Octavia and also a plug-in hybrid version. The Volkswagen Group has developed a new modular platform called MEB, which is designed only for electric cars. And on this basis, a new car called the Enyaq IV, produced in Mlada Boleslav, has been built. The Skoda Favorit is a fundamental model, a fundamental milestone of the Skoda car company. Without this car, it would not have been possible to find a key strategic partner for the car maker, which was much needed at the time. Through the foresight of the previous technical development management, it was planned not only for the new Skoda engine, but also with the assumption that larger petrol or diesel engines could be built in. With this concept, the car foreshadowed the life of its successors, for example, the Felicia. In 1994, the Felicia was the first car developed in collaboration with the Volkswagen Group. For the first time, it could make use of group parts and engines, as well as safety features such as ABS and airbags. The car maker kept the design, which the Favorit foreshadowed in 1987 until 2001. In fact, the first completely newly developed car using computer design technology was the Octavia in 1996. To this day, the most successful representative of our model range. In addition to the liftback, the Combi version had started to be produced. Today, there are other versions for different designs of RS or Scout for off-road conditions. Here is a little-known prototype called Country. In 1999, the modern Fabia was added and later replaced the Felicia. Several generations of Fabia have been produced to this day. In 2001, our flagship model, the Skoda Superb, was launched. Just like in the 1930s, when small, big, and bigger cars were made, the biggest one was called the Superb. This car, too, is the top of our product range. In 1925, after the merger of the Loren and Clement Car Company with the joint stock company, formerly Skoda Works in Pilsen, cars designed by Loren and Clement continued to be produced. However, in production, huge investments flowed in, new plants and new production shops were being built, and the construction department was not idle either. They were preparing new model series, including the 422, the 430, the 645, and the 860. For these models, the name was an abbreviation containing the number of engine cylinders and power output. So for the 860, Skoda's flagship car, it meant 8 cylinders and 60 horsepower. In the 1930s, smaller, cost-effective cars became popular. The company responded promptly and launched Skoda Popular. The design of the new car had a new frame with a central backbone tube. It was produced in several body versions. The most luxurious was this Monte Carlo Coupe. The larger siblings of the Popular adopted the successful design of the backbone frame. These included the Rapid, the Favorit, and the company's flagship, the Superb. After the Second World War, the company faced great changes. First of all, it was nationalized. Later, branch plants were set up in Wrocław and Kwasene. Production began with the innovative Popular model branded Skoda 1101, known as the two-door. This was followed by the Skoda 1200 sedan, which was the first car with an all-metal body. Another type was the Skoda 440, which was nicknamed Spartak and was the direct predecessor of the Skoda Octavia, the first car bearing the name. It was produced in this version until 1964, and in the Combi version until 1971. And it was the last car to have a body on a backbone chassis. A major change in the design of Skoda cars took place in 1964. The entire engine and transmission unit moved from the front to the rear.